A new poll shows just how close the LA County Sheriff's race is. Of course, Alex Villanueva is trying to win re-election. According to Berkeley and the LA Times, Villanueva has 27% support from registered voters. His challenger, former Long Beach Chief Robert Luna, is ahead with 31%. The poll shows that voters are pretty much split along party lines. Luna winning most liberals and Democrats. Sheriff Villanueva strong among conservatives, Republicans. 40% of voters are undecided. That's a big number. Let's bring in now Robert Luna, who joins us live to give his perspective. We often talk to the sheriff here. It's great to have you with us.
Good evening. Thank you so much. It's a privilege to be here with you tonight.
All right. So how do you see the state of this race right now?
You know, I never ignore data, so I'm really encouraged by what I saw in the LA Times poll. But I look forward to talking to the voters, to talk to them about how we can keep our community safe, how we can talk about new leadership and accountability, because at the end of the day, that's what people expect from their sheriff and their sheriff's department.
You know, we asked Sheriff Villanueva for a statement about the poll results. His campaign sent us this. We want to put it up on the screen. What the poll does not highlight is that Sheriff Villanueva has been a lifelong Democrat, while Robert Luna has been a registered Republican for more than 24 years, only recently changing his voter status for his political career. What's your response to that?
I'm used to these kind of attacks or insults from my opponent. What I have to say about it is currently I am a registered Democrat, and I have been since November of 2020. I registered as a Republican when I was 18 years of age. I had not changed my registration, but here is something that's very important. I have never been political. As a police officer, as I was going through the ranks at the Long Beach Police Department, 7 years serving as a chief of police in Long Beach, it was always emphasized, you are not to pick sides, you are not to be political. But I also want to point out that the LA County Democratic Party endorsed me and our campaign by 80% of the vote. My opponent only got 10%. I'm endorsed by all 5 of the LA County supervisors. 4 of them are Democrats, one's a Republican. I'm endorsed by Mayor Garcia and all 9 of my council people. And honestly, he's trying to make this partisan. It's not. It's about who is more qualified to be the next Los Angeles County Sheriff. And it is clear from a lot of the endorsements and even the polls that I'm the candidate that needs to be the next sheriff.
Yeah, Sheriff Villanueva was endorsed by the Democrats last time around. They've now changed their mind based off of, they say, the way that he has acted as sheriff. But there are some people that like his approach to sheriff. There's no question that Alex Villanueva has essentially given a middle finger to the establishment, certainly to the Board of Supervisors. But there are people that work in the department that kind of like that feel like somebody's got to check the system, that the establishment isn't working, that it's good to have somebody standing up for us. That's what some people have said that are supporters of him. What do you say to those people?
You know, in order to be an effective sheriff, I am going to try and build a coalition. I'm going to garner support from everybody. I don't care what party they're in. I mean, everybody has opinions, right? But here is the big contrast between myself and my opponent. In order to properly govern, you have to be able to communicate and work with the Board of Supervisors, with oversight, with our community, and the list goes on and on. You cannot work on or fix some of the most complex public safety issues that we currently face in LA County. Crime, the trajectory of crime going up, homelessness, and I could go on and on. You have to be able to work with other people. Play nice in the sandbox, as they say. And yes, there are people who love the fight. There are people who love the drama. But drama doesn't keep us safe. Working with people, rolling up your sleeves, not making excuses, not blaming other people, that's how we're going to keep LA County safe. And I am the best person to do that.
I want to get your take on a couple hot topics. One thing we've been seeing so much of recently are street takeovers and the problem in policing them. Mostly it's been an LAPD challenge, but we do see this in sheriff territory as well. These out-of-control situations, donuts, you know, and this can get really dangerous for people. What do you do about that?
You know, watching the video that you're showing, it's very disturbing. How many people are being put at risk? The community members around that location, the members that are participating in this unlawful activity. We have to stop this. It is unacceptable. And again, I don't want to keep on repeating myself, but none of us can do this on our own.
Yeah.
If LA County Sheriff's Department is working with LAPD, working with the California Highway Patrol, and honestly, whoever else it takes. Let's bring experts to the table and figure out how do we start approaching this? What laws are being broken? How could we impact this? And you know what? You also bring people who are experts in prevention and intervention in youth. Yes, some of these aren't all youth, they're young adults. But how do we impact this and get the word across that, you know what, we're putting people's lives at risk, and that is not acceptable under any circumstances.
And one last question. I want to get you to weigh in on what you just saw Gina Silva reporting on, which is this Kobe Bryant helicopter crash. The Sheriff's Department is being sued because of what happened here. What do you make of that story, and what do you make of this whole issue of sort of taking photos of the dead at crime scenes?
It's sad. And first, I'd like to start off by, you mentioned it's Kobe's 44th birthday, or would have been his 44th birthday. He's an icon, not only in our region. I grew up watching him play basketball. I feel so bad for all the families, including Vanessa, and you feel for them. We, as law enforcement, cannot be seen in this fashion, that we are taking photos for our own, whatever you want to call it. It's just not acceptable. And, you know, being effective in policing, the number one priority is public trust and legitimacy. This is not the way you build public trust. And when employees behave this way, and I'm going to be fair here, I don't know all the details. I know what's been reported in the media, and it doesn't sound good. But at the end of the day, the first word that comes to mind is accountability. Were the employees involved in this held accountable for their actions? And it certainly doesn't sound like they were. We do not take, I mean, if we're taking pictures in an official capacity, and we do that, our employees, specifically in policing, see gruesome things.
Right.
But at no time should they be on somebody's personal phone and be left there and not even be asked questions of how far it went, because they may be out there, especially in today's social media world. We have to hold people accountable, discipline if necessary, and just lay it out there. This is not acceptable under any circumstances.
Robert Luna, we appreciate you sharing your perspective. We've had the sheriff on often, and we look forward to talking to both of you a lot in the months ahead, and hopefully even having a debate with the two of you as well. Thank you so much, Robert Luna.
Alec, thank you. Thank you all to the viewers.